What up, Salvador Brinkman here. Welcome back to the Crowdfunding Demystified YouTube channel. On this channel, we talk a lot about crowdfunding. We talk about bringing a new product idea into the world. We also talk about selling products online. And specifically today, I want to talk about actually for you, whether or not you have a good product idea and some of the signs that go into that. Do you have a killer, epic idea for a product or a prototype you've been working on and kind of figuring out like, is this actually something that I should spend a little bit more time on? I want to talk about that in today's YouTube video. And also, if you do enjoy these kinds of videos that I put out there, you enjoy my free education, my free training that I love sharing with you and also with other people out there, please give me a thumbs up so that I know that. Let me know. It also helps the YouTube algorithm. But that being said, let's get into today's video, and it's coming up right after this. Okay, man, again, my name is Salvador Brinkman, and I got a great podcast out there actually called the Crowdfunding Demystified Podcast, where you can actually hear from real world entrepreneurs, creative types, individuals, people that are every single day raising money using crowdfunding. And they talk about where they got their inspiration for this product idea, which is then doing 6 figures with a campaign or 7 figures, or this could actually be their 10th campaign when it comes to crowdfunding. So definitely go and check out some of the episodes of my podcast. Okay, so let's talk about doing a killer product idea. What are some of the signs? So the first sign, the most important sign, is that does this solve a problem of some kind? So if your product actually solves a problem, this is a huge indicator that you have a great product idea. Now, the degree to which it solves a problem, how well it solves problems, and how many people experience that problem, which it does solve, and are those people actually willing to spend money to solve that problem, that's going to determine sort of the breadth, if you will, of the marketplace, the depth, if you will, of the idea, how you can monetize it. For example, if you come up with a completely new innovative product to a problem that already exists, but it does it in a whole new way, which is great, an incredible solution, and people are willing to spend money for that solution, that's a killer product idea. If you come out with a new solution, but it's only like a little bit better, and people aren't really willing to spend money on it, it's not gonna be the greatest idea out there. But I would say number one is it's gotta solve some kind of a problem. Number two, is it unique in some way? Is it unique? And typically, does that provoke some kind of a reaction? So it doesn't have to be necessarily an amazing, huge reaction like surprise, right? But I would say that the bigger emotional reaction that you can tend to provoke because it's a unique idea or it's something that's never been done before, it's a different form factor, it's a different design, it's a different type of technology in the actual product, whatever it is, if there is a uniqueness element to it, people will go bananas for this thing. I'm telling you, there was a great idea I had recently on my show, and I actually did another video on this. It was about Pluffle, which is a dog bed for humans, and this thing was like crack cocaine, and these guys never had done a TikTok before. They were like 20 years old. They released this new product. They put it out on TikTok, and it just blew up, millions of views, right? Tons of people checking this out, and on other social media platforms. So if you have something that's unique, and specifically something that can provoke a reaction, that's a really good sign that it's a great product idea. Because when something's unique, the marketing just gets so much easier. Number 3 is that if it's a derivation, so we'll say a derivative of an existing product, which leads it to being in some way already having a market for it. So sometimes I have students who come to me and they come up with a completely new idea that has absolutely no market. And the problem with that is that it's obviously very risky. Sometimes you can create a market out of thin air, but most often than not, you're creating something new and there's already a solution that's out there, but just a little bit different. So for example, like a sponge that rather than being a sponge, it's in the shape of a smiley face, right? It can fit into really small corners or something like that. Or you come out with a new way, like a sponge that has certain different angles to it that can take in different surfaces or something like that, right? There's derivatives to an existing solution, to an existing product. And when you come out with a derivative solution, typically there's already a marketplace that's out there. And if it is unique, different, patentable, etc., you can create trademarks around, you can actually have some IP there, something that's different enough that can actually be a new invention or a new idea because there's already an existing market. Number one, if you're bringing it to market yourself, it's a lot easier. Number two, if you're selling to another company, there's already a market there. So you have particular targets, right, that you could go after. So derivative ideas can be great because there's already a market, and that can make it be a killer product idea. Number four is actually something that I think is a little bit controversial, but I have seen this work time and time again. So I got to make sure that I include it on this list. And that's really if you're serving the higher end of a market. Okay, so we're gonna say a higher end idea, and that typically is related to things, whether that's premium quality resources or materials, we'll say materials, or that could be something related to the design of the product. So high end kind of like an idea would be something that's a little bit more in the luxury space. Now I'm saying that every product has to be luxury, but it does have to be perceived as valuable. It has to be perceived as something that's high end, premium. Why is that so important? The reason why that's important, why it's actually a great killer product idea, is typically because number one, people who are spending in a high end are less price sensitive and they care more about quality. In addition, when you have a high end product, it allows you to have a buffer when it comes to margins margins, which allows you to market that product, right? So when you have a very high-end toothbrush, or you have a very high-end, I don't know, glove, which you can use to put in the oven, it's really great cookware or something like that, it's very high-end. You do have to prove that, you have to show the materials, you have to expand on that. But if people buy into that, they believe that, they see the value in it, it can become a very extremely profitable company because you have the margins based on the high-end market in order to plow back into marketing. Number five is a little bit iffy, okay? Now, the reason why I'm a little bit iffy is that I really, honestly, I do like trends, but at the same time, they're kind of like, they're a little bit a double-edged sword. So number five is kind of goes into an existing trend of some kind. So what might be existing trends? Like, for example, creating a product out of organic materials, right? Or some kind of a major trend that's out there, whether it's maybe conserving water or something that's compostable or something that's eco-friendly. If you're using and you're hopping on some kind of a trend, that can be great in a couple of different ways. Number one, it's gonna be so much easier because you already have marketing. You already have people that are, excited about buying new products. Like, it's like oat milk. That's a great example. Oat milk, just kind of exploded onto the scene, and it was part of this new trend of alternative styles of milk, whether it's almond milk, etc. Right? So oat milk was a right place, right time, and in a great trajectory when it comes to a trend. However, it's also kind of a double-edged sword because trends don't last forever necessarily. But if there is staying power, this can make a very great product idea because it's very easy to get it off the ground. Typically, it's easier to raise capital for it because you're in a growing market. And if it's something that's growing very quickly, it's also really easy to have more and more customers coming back to you because you're kind of becoming and growing a brand in that particular new industry. Okay, so there's a lot we could talk about. Obviously, when it comes to coming off the killer product idea, we didn't touch anything on features, benefits. We didn't talk about anything when it comes to resources, materials. So go and check out some of my other videos out there on creating a product from scratch because I think you would like those. And it goes a lot more in depth than I am in this particular video. So some of the other signs are actually gonna be more based on you, the founder, the creator, the innovator, the inventor, whatever label you'd like to put on yourself. This is more along those lines. So I'm gonna change the color of my little marker here, right? And we're gonna get into what are some of those other ones. Want to take all the stress out of fulfilling your Kickstarter rewards? Fulfillment is the turnkey solution that puts product delivery on autopilot. The Top Campaigns uses trusted high-tech provider to store, package, and ship their products. Focus on growing your business. Leave shipping to the experts. Don't wait. Get a custom quote from Fulfillment today. Link in the description. So the first is that if you have an obsessive focus, okay, it almost becomes an obsession. And this relates to your focus. So what do I mean by obsession? Obsession is not just like, oh, I have an incredible idea. I'm telling everyone about this. This is so cool. This is amazing. And then like a month later, you're talking about something else. A lot of people will jump from idea to idea to idea, right? Almost like they're leapfrogging, across the lily pads. And they just have so many ideas they've never executed on. The ideas that you're actually passionate about, that you could see yourself doing 5 years into the future. You could see yourself doing, even I'd say 2 years into the future, and you are obsessive, you are focused, you're always, working on this after work, you're working this on the weekends, and you just get freaking passionate, man. Even me talking about this, I get passionate about this for you. These are the kinds of obsessive ideas that tend to make really great product ideas. And the reason is that someone who is obsessive usually finds it very easy to work on the project. And as a result of that, they're making tons and tons of progress, and they're doing it consistently. And when problems crop up, they don't just give up, right? They don't just take their blocks and go home. They actually sit there and they try to figure it out. And they try to actually think out solutions. And they try to think, what if I change this? What if I change that? That's when innovation happens. It happens through persistence. So obsession is tied to focus, and focus is tied to persistence over time. So if you feel obsessed about this idea, you can't get this out of your head, but more importantly, you're also taking a bit of action. You're dealing with obstacles. You're working every day, after work or on the weekends on this. This is a great sign as a creator, inventor, entrepreneur, product designer, marketer, however you want to label yourself. Number 7, if this is about more than just making money. So I say this is about meaning. Okay, so we're gonna say meaning. Now, why the heck am I talking about meaning on a killer product idea video, right? Why are we getting into meaning? The reason why is that it's not just enough to actually want to make money. Now, I've started many companies in my life, and the ones that really had staying power are the ones that actually had meaning to me personally, or I wanted to have some kind of effect on the world. The same thing goes when I've interviewed people who have raised millions of dollars on crowdfunding campaign platforms. Every single one says they want it to make meaning in the world. And what that does is that actually pulls you towards your goals. It allows other people to actually want to work with you. And your customers also sense that when it comes to your brand values, and they want to do business with you. They want to help you. They want to join your tribe when it comes to whatever it is that you're putting out. So this needs to be about more than just making cash, than doing royalties if you're doing it that route, about more than just making a bunch of money when you actually manufacture this to come out with your own IP and are selling this regularly. It has to be about more than just building a business. It has to be about the impact you want to make. You have to actually be excited for people to own this thing at the end of the day, to get it shipped to their actual door, to open this thing up, to use it in their everyday life. You're a freaking artist, man. If you feel like there's meaning behind this beyond just the superficial, this is a great idea because it's going to make you really persist throughout the difficult times and through the trenches. Number 8, and I would say that this is actually a very difficult point, and I will kind of elaborate on why that's the case. You need to be willing to invest and commit. You need to be willing to invest and commit. Now, I've had people that I've coached that are on the younger side, that are 18 years old, right? I've had people that are, I think the earliest was like maybe about 16-year-old. I had people who are on their 20s. I've had people who are on their 50s and their 60s and their 40s, like all over the spectrum, right? Number one thing though, that's been consistent with everyone who's seen progress is they've been willing to actually invest in the product. Now, what do I mean by that? I mean actually putting a little bit of money aside and you put it in your bank account, putting in a savings account, using credit cards, whatever you got to do in order to move the product forward. That could be getting CAD designs. That could be getting, some digital designs done. That could be getting concept sketches done. That could be getting a model done, right? Maybe the initial prototype, thinking about long-term, maybe building the brand, building your website, right? The stuff that goes into actually making this reality. It's not just going to be all about you because you're a very smart guy. You're watching my channel. You probably are a smart person, right? But that doesn't mean you have every skill set that's out there. And one of the things we have to do as business owners is that we have to assemble a team of people, even if they're freelancers or people just helping us out. We have to assemble a team of people that can execute upon this grand vision which we have. So you got to be willing to invest in the product, in the company, and specifically in yourself as well, to learn the discipline, to solve the problems, to hire coaches, to get mentors, to read books, right? To pay for programs. All of these different things that can move you forward are going to help you when it comes to standing out amongst a crowd. And the other thing here, when it comes to this is making sure that you are freaking committed. If you are not committed, it's not going to happen. You got to be the one who has the ultimate belief. You really have to believe in yourself. And it is hard. It's very difficult. But when you can commit, you can invest in yourself, and you can move this project forward, and even if it's only a tiny bit every single month, that's when you know you got a killer product idea because it's something that you care about. Okay, so we went through a lot of different stuff in terms of what comprises a killer product idea, a little bit of the mindset of the creator, the founder, or the entrepreneur. What I'm going to talk about now is whether or not the killer product idea actually turns into something real. And we're just going to sum this up with basically two different points, and we're going to cap today's video. So the first point is, are you taking action? The name of the game is you got to take action. You got to take action, my friend. You got to be taking action. There are many areas in life when you got to take action. And really the bread or the winnings or whatever it is you want to call it, the treasure goes to those that are willing to take action. I'm not saying you necessarily have to be the most courageous person out there, but you do have to have courage. Courage in order to, for example, approach that girl across the room, who then maybe one day it becomes your life. Courage to pursue your passion, which then one day becomes your full-time job. Courage to actually go out there and to put this into the marketplace and see how it goes. And it takes courage. So you need to take action. Be consistently taking action. Don't just let yourself, ponder on this idea for the next years and years and years. I have students who are like, they've been thinking about this for 4 years. They haven't taken any freaking action. Then they start taking action. I'm like, why didn't you do this sooner? And like, well, I guess I was just, thinking in my head, and I wasn't really, being willing to put one step in front of the other because it was so scary. But now I realize it's not scary, right? Got to be willing to take action. Greatness comes, success comes when you're willing to take action. Number 10, my final point here is you got to invest in your education. I'm talking about investing your time. I'm talking about investing your money. I'm talking about investing your thought process in actually educating yourself about how to do this, okay? So I'm not just going through like, even creating a product. I also mean like building out a company. I also mean e-commerce, starting an online store, maybe someday even doing a crowdfunding campaign. You need to be willing to invest in upgrading your education because chances are if you haven't been doing anything, and you've just been thinking and relying on other people in your life, they're not experts, right? They don't know what it takes when it comes to putting together a new product idea. They might even shoot down some of your ideas. You need to surround yourself with powerful forces, people that are empowering you, people that voices, listen to my podcast, right? People that are seeing success. You need to be willing to access the right training, get the right information. So that way you can be much faster when it comes to your success and experiencing that as a product creator. So I would say that these are some of the major things that go into product ideas, and education as well just comes to educating and learning about your marketplace as well, learning about about your customers, learning about what they want. Well, how do they interact with the product? All these different things go into your success as a product creator. So I hope that you enjoyed my list here, also my unconventional style when it comes to my teaching. If you did, give me a thumbs up. Let me know that you enjoyed this video. Come subscribe for more content just like this. I also do one-on-one coaching calls where I go intensive through people that are looking to get these things turned into real life, right? When it comes to their ideas into reality, launch campaigns, build stores, build businesses, etc. So go and check out my coaching programs down below. But in addition, man, I got some great videos out there on how to actually make a product. Go and check those out as well. Thank you so much. My name is Sal, and I will see you next time.